guys, it's Shaylin and I'm here today with another writing video, and today is going to be my monthly update for February. I'm just going to talk about all of the things, the writing things, in February. If you're wondering why this video is up so late, it's because I'm stupid and I went home for reading break and left my camera charger at home and came back and had like half of a battery pack left, and it was like, oh damn. So that's why that happened. But my mom came to visit me and she brought me my camera charger, which was very nice of her. Most of the videos until mid-April will be pre-filmed, which is why I will be back at my house with longer hair because I filmed them when I was home and before I cut my hair. I was finding it very hard to find the times to film when I was here at school, just with my roommate, and there are very few times where during the week where I am home and she's not, and just busyness with school, honestly, it was getting very hard to find the time to film, so I decided to just pre-film a lot of videos. So yeah, let's start. I'm gonna actually start with school and I'm gonna leave, I'm fine to the end. Screenwriting. I just want to start with screenwriting because it's the shortest update. So for a couple months, actually since late November, I'd been working on a script called The Pine Heart. I'd been so involved with this script and only this script that then it kind of hit me. I have another script I have to write. And I was in the first week of the rotation, so we have a rotation of like 5 weeks of who we're gonna workshop, and I was in the first week of the rotation. I was not ready for that. Over my reading break, I went home. And reading break, I feel like, I mean, technically it's supposed to be a time when you catch up on your readings, but for most people it's just like a de-stress time. No, I had so much work to do over reading break that I didn't even get all the work I needed to do done, and I was working like all day. I had papers to write, I had an exam the first day back after reading break, like what kind of prop is this? But mostly I had a screenplay to write, and it was like 20 pages long. It was so rushed that I kind of just bullshitted the idea. It is the worst thing I have ever handed into a workshop. It's called Spray Paint. It's a really crappy screenplay. It's just about 2 graffiti artists who have a rivalry, and I hate it, honestly. And I handed it in to be workshopped, and it is the worst feeling to hand in something you hate to a workshop. Because it's not just, oh, my prof is gonna read this and maybe I'll get a bad grade. It's, I'm handing this in, everyone in the class is gonna read it, and we're gonna spend 30-40 minutes discussing it, not to mention reading it out loud. I was like embarrassed by it. You know, when I showed up to class on my workshop date, it was the first time I've ever been really nervous about a workshop. Normally I'm fine. I actually kind of enjoy getting workshopped. I enjoy hearing how people have interpreted the piece. No, I didn't feel that this time. I was honestly just not looking forward to it. And my screen workshop was really chill. Like, my prof is really nice. No one in the class was gonna just like totally drag this script. Such a lower quality than I hold myself to the rest of the time. I didn't think there was an inciting incident, but my prof found one. He was like, the inciting incident is on page 2. I was like, well, bless your soul, because I didn't even think there was an inciting incident in this. There's not really a lot of obstacles to reach the goal, expository dialogue, 2 montages at the end, because I was reaching the end and it was due like really soon, and I was like, well, darn, I need to do something, so I just ended it with like 2 long montages. Everything about that script was just bad. I didn't like the idea. I thought logically it didn't make sense. People said they liked the idea, and they said that it made like a really visually interesting script because of all the like the spray paint. That was like the one good thing to say about the script, was that it was visually interesting. Everything else about it was like... So I got that workshopped, and now, oh, I have like a month to revise it, but it's gonna need a complete restructure because I'm not a fan of it. Really not a fan of it. The whole time that they were reading it out loud, because we started our workshops with like a table read, listening to them reading my script, and I was like, can we not be doing this right now? Anyways, it was really bad. Terrible script. Let's move on. Okay, fiction class. So, handed in my second story. It's called Dramatis Personae. This was a really interesting story for me. I had a lot of concerns about it. I thought that I didn't think it was bad, but I thought that there were just like a lot of problems with it, and I thought that it wouldn't be that well received by my workshop. It was a really risky story because it's basically like, well, some people in my workshop, they described it as a meta script. But the deal with that story is it kind of is like a meta script. My main character is an actor and kind of formulates her life like a play. kind of to cope with it. It's in second person. There's just a lot of weird stuff going on form-wise there, and I was like, this is either gonna get me major kudos points or it's gonna get me totally dragged. People liked it. Like, honestly, I was so shocked at how well received it was. I think people liked it more than I liked it. Yeah, it was shockingly well received. And not that there weren't problems with it, but overall, like, it was really well liked. And before my workshop even started, we intro someone else. So you introduce their story, you get them to a passage, you give like a plot summary, you start with the high points, you start with what needs work. Anyway, so there was some confusion because we had a class canceled because of weather, of who was introing who. The prof was like, okay, who's introing Shaylin's? And 2 people put up their hand. 1 person goes, no, I'm introing this one. I want to intro this one because it was so good. I was like, yo, I thought it was bad. It was actually workshopped on my birthday, which I will say, so it's a pet peeve of mine when people use their birthday as an excuse for something. Like, I cannot stand it when people are like, I shouldn't have to do this, it's my birthday. And it's like, the world doesn't stop because it's your birthday. So I was getting workshopped on my birthday, and I was like, well, you know, if I don't get totally burned, that is the greatest gift I could ever ask for. And like, obviously my whole workshop knew that it was my birthday because I'm obviously like friends with them on Facebook, and so they see that it's my birthday. And I showed up and everyone was like, happy birthday. My gift is my critique. My gift is my criticism to you. I was like, thank you. The workshop honestly went really well, and I was pleasantly surprised with how well it went. And I think I like the story even more now, when I had some doubts about it, but now I'm kind of feeling that one. So I started my 3rd story, and I actually finished the first draft of it, which is very exciting because it's not due until it's due in 10 days, it's due on the 16th. I am already done. Like, I finished the first draft like a week ago. And my 3rd story is probably the best thing I've ever written in my life. It's called Bird Behavior. My other 2 stories took me just a long time to get the first draft done. This one was just a couple sittings. It was really easy to do. It's a project that I'm very, very passionate about. I really love this project. It's really interesting. I don't want to say I don't care about what I write for school, because I do. I do really care about it. But I don't care about it as much as I care about like my novels or anything. But as I was writing this story, I started to get so invested in the characters. Honestly, like, I care about them so much. I care about them as much as I care about like the characters in my novels. Oh, invested in these characters. And Emma is trying to convince me to expand it into a novel because I can't shut up about it. And I can't shut up about how much I love it. And that's always a possibility down the road. Not right now. Like, right now I want to focus on it as a short story, but that is always a possibility of expanding it into a novel. I don't know how well it would expand into a novel. It was conceptualized to be meant for the short form, so we'll see. I care about it a lot, and I'm looking forward to getting it workshopped because I just want to know how I can make it better, and I honestly do think it's the best thing I've ever written. I'm so proud of it. Near the end, I was like getting really emotional as I was getting to the end of it. I was like, because it ends kind of sad. Like, I'm normally not like overcome with emotion when I'm writing. Even when I'm writing really sad things, I'm normally fine, but I was getting like really emotional. I was like, oh my god, my precious, my children. I can't do this to them. There's one scene in it that I genuinely think is the best scene I've ever written. First of all, it's just exciting that like I'm so ahead of the game. Like, this isn't due until like the 16th, and I'm already not just done the first draft, I'm on like draft 7. I've been printing it off and line editing it. Doesn't it look so nice? Like, there is nothing like a freshly printed story. Like, it looks so freaking pretty, right? So professional, so clean. I'm just so in love with this story, and we only get to revise one of our last 2 stories. We have to pick which one we want to revise, and originally I was going to revise Dramatis Personae because I was like, it's definitely the weaker story, by far. But then my prof was like, you should revise the one you care about more, not the one that it has a lower grade. You should really just revise the one you care about more. And I was like, true. Like, I was just thinking like a student, but I should think like a writer, and I should revise the one I care about more, which is definitely Bird Behavior. Anyways, I'm just like in love with this story. I can't deal with it. Anyways, another thing I want to talk about fiction is my first story that I wrote. It's all back in, like all my grades are back in. It's called Melting Point, and so because all my grades are in, I have posted it on my website. So the thing about Melting Point is I put a lot of time into this story. A ton of time into this story. Like, so much time, so many revisions. Hours per word, probably the most time I've ever put into something. Just a lot of time went into this. Now I'm still changing things, like it's been posted, but I'm still like changing little things about it. I've posted lots of samples of my writing. Like, I've always been very open about sharing my writing, but if you want to read something I've written that is very polished, like not a first draft that I just chucked up, like if you want to read something polished and know what your gal Shaylin can really do with words, give it a read. I'm I'm really proud of it, and I want to say also like a huge thank you. People are commenting on this story that it's like the best short story they've ever read, or it's one of the best things they've ever read, and I'm just like blown away by this because I put so much time into this, and to hear that it's working at this point means so much to me. So it is on my website. I will leave a link to that in the description. I'm really proud of it. Warning though, like it is disturbing. Like it's meant to be disturbing. It's not meant to be like a happy feely time. It's meant to be kind of disturbing. There is a content warning up on the post. Probably gonna post Dramatis Personae at some point. Probably not gonna post Bird Behavior because I want to try to publish it, like start sending it to literary magazines. I think it's at the level. Melting Point, my first real short story, like that was good. I don't think it was really worth pursuing it through magazines. I'll submit it to a few if I can find somewhere it's okay to submit if you've posted online. Most literary magazines, you cannot submit something if you've posted online because that counts as it being published. It's stupid. So I can't really submit Melting Point to many places, but that's okay. And I don't intend to submit Dramatis Personae to many places, so that's okay. But Bird Behavior I do want to pursue. I want to try to publish it, send it to contests, send it to wherever, because I do think it's the best thing I've ever written. So I feel like it deserves it. So now let's talk about I'm Fine. I'm Fine is my novel. I wrote the first draft in 2015. I am revising it right now. So currently there are 29 chapters and I've edited up until the end of chapter 7. It's a slow going time. I have honestly not been working on it very much because of school. I have not had much time. All my writing time has been working on my writing projects for school, and I've just been so insanely busy. This has been the busiest semester I've ever had, that this has been kind of taking a back burner. I'm hoping that I can get a bit more work done this coming week because it's a very quiet week. I don't have anything due. But after that, the semester is gonna go crazy because I'm gonna have all my papers due. We're getting up to the time where I'm gonna have to do all my revisions in. It's just gonna have a lot of things due, nearing finals. So it's gonna be very busy couple weeks. But next week is kind of quiet. So I'm gonna take that time to hopefully get a lot done of I'm Fine. The reason why the last few chapters have been so slow is because chapters 4 to 7 basically needed an entire restructure. Tons of new scenes, completely different from what they were originally. So it's been really slow going because I've been needing to draft new material as well, organize it with the old material and piece everything together, and it's been kind of a mess. So yeah, I'm at the end of chapter 7, which is not, like I started this in January, guys, and I've edited 7 chapters. Oh my god. And so I'm just hoping that I will get this done eventually. No, my goal for this is the end of April. I'm going to go on a trip at the end of April. So my goal is to finish my restructuring of this before I go there, and I'd like to do a round of line editing as well. I want to get at least this round of editing done because this is the most major round of editing. This is the round of editing where I'm like changing things, not just line level. Like I'm doing line level, but I'm also doing structural. So it's a lot to deal with and it's a lot to fix and change. So I don't know, I can't believe that last semester I wrote an entire first draft. This semester I've edited 7 chapters. It's just a very crazy semester. My Q&A is coming up soon. I just couldn't film it because I didn't have a battery for my camera, but it will be up soon, eventually. I will get that done. I'm just very behind on uploading because of that whole losing the camera battery thing. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, you can always send me an ask on Tumblr, and I will see you in another video. Bye.
Now look at all your